Hello, welcome to the Late Night Lounge here on Latte Firm. It's Friday, the 15th of May. One last dance as Arsenal host Burnley in the final home game of the season at the Emirates Stadium on Monday night. A warm welcome to all of you. Thanks for waiting so patiently. A warm welcome to all of our channel members, Patreon members. Thank you so much for your generous support and all of your kind words throughout the week, throughout the season. It's great to have built that community over at Patreon. Get involved if you'd like to support the channel for the price of a coffee a month and have access to match tickets and giveaways and all that sort of stuff, ad-free content all throughout next season. Please do head over. Welcome. Hope you've all had a good week. It's gone a bit chilly in London. Wearing my coat. It's been raining, and when it hailstones as a bald man, that's almost, traumatizing. But here we are. It's Friday. We're on the cusp of the end of the Premier League season. 2 clear with 2 to go. Let's go straight to the chat tonight to see how all of you are. You know the rules. Get involved. Keep the chat active. I'll get through as many of the comments as we can. I'll bring in my panelists in just a short moment. And then get over your questions, get over your emotions, and just let me know how you're doing. Jizzle McDizzle says, I'm not cut out for this. Hold me. What a way to start. He's nervous. He's not looking forward to the last couple of games. Of course, we've got Budapest as well. Joel, welcome, says, good afternoon, Latte Firm gang. I'm about to board a plane bound for Heathrow. Massively looking forward to the game on Monday night. Snack check tonight, whatever plane food I'm given. Joel, travel safe, my friend. Best wishes on that journey. Look forward to seeing you at the stadium on Monday. Vlad says, good evening all. The most important 15 days ever. Come on, you Gunners. Saka is God. Jordan is here, says, good evening, Gooners. So annoying that we're having to wait until Monday night. This weekend's going to suck. I'll tell you what didn't suck, mate. Your contribution to the phone-in last night on Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, whatever it's called. You were hilarious, brother. You got a lot of love and a lot of humor from all of the listening public. Fantastic. Do keep it up. Dan's here, says, have to say it's pretty annoying that Villa show up today against Liverpool when we all know what they will do against City. Nothing on that final day. We're going to talk about that as well. Paul, good evening. I've dined and bathed in the hate. It's been lush. It's been quite the week, hasn't it? Rival fans, pundit, media, all starting from that Sunday afternoon at London Stadium. But I've seen media coverage like I've never seen it before. Attacks on an Arsenal podcast, a very good Arsenal podcast, may I add. Attacks on Arsenal fan groups. Whatever next? Attacks on coffee, lattes? Tell me not. Hi, Zakai. Am I the only one who's been thinking about Arsenal every day for the past week or more? 3 wins away from something special? No, you are not the only person. We are absolutely buzzing and been thinking about it every day. Whole Milk's here. Welcome to the show. Kind of annoyed there's no meaningful football on to watch this weekend. Claire's here. Monday can't come quick enough. This has been the longest week. And JK Miyingo, good evening to you, Gooners. Look, keep the chat active. So many of you joining. Karen's here as well. Jonathan, great to see you. Good afternoon from Kansas City. 2 more games to go. Wow. I tell you what is big tomorrow, and Asheen's just nailed it. Celtic versus Hearts for the Scottish League title. Never, ever, ever thought I'd say those words. But that is a game that I will be tuning in before the FA Cup. When Needed says, I want Hearts to win. Hate that league. And how bad were Liverpool tonight? They were absolutely abysmal. We're going to tuck into all of that and so much more as we get on through tonight's show. Keep the chat active. Let's bring in our first panelist. It's Yembele. How are you, brother?
I'm okay, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Have you had a good week?
Yes.
Well, why did you have to think about it?
I had to think about what I was doing this week. It's been a very busy week. But yes, and obviously it started Sunday. I was on the floor for about 4 minutes as they were checking, and then obviously those magical words after review, and then my world went so much better. Then the week just flew by, and then obviously until Wednesday when Crystal Palace could do nothing for us.
I tell you what, Kimo FC has absolutely knocked it out of the park, hasn't he?
Oh, that video and the extended version is just...
I mean, the extended version is outrageous. Patreon members, the extended version, I've sent you a link. You can download the entire track and do what you will, because I was vibing on the Central 9 tonight, mate. At 31 seconds, when the bass drops, no one can tell me that they are not...
Kimo, have you thought about a music distribution deal for this track?
Honestly, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I've got Kimo's blessing to do this. I know Peter, the stadium announcer, personally. I'm going to ask him if he would like to play it after the Burnley game, of course.
God.
If we win,
that would be hilarious. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that half time? That'll be.
I know. Mike Blake says, looking particularly shiny tonight, my friend. I've had a fresh trim, fresh buff. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. The weekend's here. Claire says, chilly in London. You want to try living up north. Liverpool are so poor, but good evening to you, Patrick, as well. The chat's on fire tonight. So many people have tuned in. Yem, great to have you on the show. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, and I get all your opinions on that. We're also going to look at the Arsenal kit that was announced today, a new shirt. Let's bring in Wayne Bellet. Wayne, how are you?
Oh, man, my eyes are a mess.
What's going on? Tell the watching world.
Perks of having a 3-year-old daughter that goes to nursery, and nurseries are the grimmest places on earth.
They really are.
They really are, honestly.
Everyone says, yeah, have a kid. They're lovely. Have a child. They're amazing. No one ever tells you, yeah, you're going to pick up every illness known to the history of illnesses. So yeah, if I'm blinking, it's because I'm trying to avoid touching my eyes. That's
the hardest thing, isn't it? Touching, you want to touch your eyes, literally scratch them.
Yeah. To be fair, I could have just made that all up. This is still me reacting to the West Ham game last week.
Yeah, well, you see, this is you reacting to Unai Emery and Aston Villa celebrating.
Oh yeah, this is
tears in his eyes that Villa have qualified for the Champions League.
Uncle
the streets
Unai,
don't forget, Wayne. The
Uncle
streets
Unai.
do not forget. Do not even uncle me.
He's gonna go and win the Europa League in midweek as well.
Do you know what? We've got to just take him out. I can't do this. I cannot. The world is a better place without Uncle Unai loving. DJ Callie says, FK, how are you feeling ahead of Monday? Love from the Netherlands. By the way, first of all, Netherlands, what a country.
Well, yes.
But I'm feeling well. So I can't do that to Wayne. It's so hard. Donald says, M&S snack check incoming via Yembele. Yembele's got a bit of a reputation here now. He's been he's been redeeming himself. And Jordan says it does suck for us to wait 8 days, but I'm sure the boys are so glad to have finally had some time for recovery and for training. Indeed. Lots to talk about tonight, ladies and gents, boys and girls. The new Arsenal home shirt that was released today, Take My Money. Then we're going to talk about David Raya. I did a show last night with Adam Keys. It was a members-only live stream. We talked about David Raya, the 3 consecutive Golden Gloves. I want to get your thoughts on just how big an impact you think he's made at our glorious football club. Then, of course, we will talk about... What are we going to talk about? I can't even remember now. What are we going to talk about?
Burnley.
Well, we've got a pretty big game coming up.
We do have a pretty big game coming up. We're going to talk about obviously our form on this day. 10 years to the day that Mikel Arteta retired from playing football, and 22 years to the day that we went invincibles and anniversary stuff. And I'm going to put you guys on the spot and ask you to rank seasons. So bear with me as we get to that. Manager of the Month nominations are in. Also talked about that with Adam Keys. Want to get your thoughts on that. And anything else that the chat want to know. So we'll look ahead to the big game that lies ahead on Monday. But before we do all of that, let's do Heritage. Go on.
Our boy Dukester, he's ruined my night again.
Why? What's happened now?
Grown men using the word ick. And we've just had a conversation about it. We've just had a conversation about it with him. And he's come in here and mocked me and said, Wayne gives us the ick. Because on big social media, we've seen someone describe a midfielder as giving them the ick. And I'm livid. A midfielder cannot give you the ick.
Well, I got to say, Wayne, you do give me the ick. And Dukester, you are a legend for saying that. Indy Bar says, get well soon, Wayne. Yeah, pink eye's not great, mate. Yeah.
Why?
Tonight is a tonics tea cake and a cup of Yorkshire tea, which is what I was just about to say. Let's go to Latte firm Heritage and do our... No, I'm not going to do a timer. What's going on? Why does StreamYard do this? Here we go. Snack check. I'm going to go first tonight, gents. It's Friday night in our household, swimming night. So I've just come back with the kids. They wanted to eat something delicious. And so I popped down to, not the Colonel, but the cottage. The cottage.
Ooh, the cottage.
And I've got myself a couple of wings. And they are the classic chicken.
Do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell them
the size of it? They're going to start just what's going on.
Do you want to tell them what the plan was originally when you called me earlier? Well,
the plan originally was to take Yembele, right? And just say, yeah, do you fancy going out for a meal? And he said, no, I've had a kebab. I said, whoa. Where'd you get the kebab from? Family Kebab, South Woodford. Great shout. And I said, oh, right, okay. How much are they charging these days? He goes, well, if you go onto Uber, you can get 2 kebabs for the price of 1. And I was like, is that what you did? He said, yeah. I said, I'll be round in 5 minutes. He said, no.
I ate
having
them both.
Beast.
No, I
Anyway.
didn't eat them both. I'm going to step
Yeah,
out for 1 second because I said my doorbell's gone because my daughter and thing are back. Give me 2 minutes.
My daughter and Thing are back. That's how he refers to as his wife. My daughter and Thing are back. Yes, I've got the cottage's finest. And do you know what? Wally was saying to me after the West Ham game, you still got the video of me eating one of these chicken cottage wings for the first time. Only discovered it about, I don't know, 5-7 years ago or whatever. And it's his favorite video of all time. So I'm going to tuck into that. While Shimbele goes to answer the door to his daughter and his Thing, I'm going to text his missus. Are you aware?
You've got the video evidence of that.
Exactly, live, streamed to hundreds of people live and thousands and millions of people around the world. Wayne, what are you snacking on tonight? In chat, let me know. What are you snacking on tonight? In fact, before you reveal, lots of people have been talking about their snacks tonight. Mohammed, welcome to the show, says having an Oreo milkshake. That is classic. I do like that. Cherries, says Cardiac Cats. Do you know what? As fruits, I'm not sure. Cherries just don't do it for me.
No, I don't.
They're never sweet. I don't even know if they're supposed to be sweet, but they never taste satisfying, and the little seed inside just really irritates me.
Yeah, I don't mind them as like a flavor or as like a part of like a dessert. Like
just not
them by themselves
as a fruit. Yeah. Hi, as a kite says snack check tonight. Pen, pineapple, apple, pen. I don't know what's going on there. Claire says she's having a pack of fig rolls and a hazelnut latte. Claire, what country are you in? Or are you just having sort of a hazelnut latte at this time of night in the UK? I think she said she was in the north, right? It check. Wayne's eyes.
Oh my God.
Fiona says, what a week. Glad it's over. Welcome to the show, Fiona. I hope you are well. Hope you've had a good week. Ash is having McVitie's dark chocolate digestives. They are awesome until you went and put them in the fridge. What are you doing here? Hard biscuits, cold biscuits? No. Dave says his snack check tonight is a pistachio tiramisu. Fried yams, says I'm in trouble. I don't think I've ever had fried yams. Mate, it sounds good, but I need to check it out. Scott says he's having a pecan Snickers.
Ooh.
Have you all got those over there? They're incredible. Great frozen. Well, where are you from, Scott? Let me know. I suspect America.
Yeah, I've not heard of
pecan
that before.
Snickers. No, I've not. I've not had that. Oisin says blood orange and grapefruits. CBD beverage. Had a full meltdown this week in work, so it is needed. Well, I hope work's not stressing you out too much, Oisin. And I hope you're looking forward to this weekend. Come on. Wayne, what are you snacking on tonight? As Mike says, chicken tenders with a hot honey sauce. Sounds good.
I'll get into mine in a second, but I just want to confirm that Wally video that you mentioned. Was that the one that we've put have put North London forever over?
No, so the North London
that's a
video,
KFC. That's the KFC one.
No, it's not even KFC either. The North
Oh.
London video is actually me and Akbar's having lamb chops,
Fair enough.
and that has gone viral on many occasions. And do you know what? Not even from people that like I follow or that I know. I'll just scroll down the timeline. It's just me eating lamb chops with that music.
Just whenever anything happens and goes well for someone, it's just
It's just that video.
Yeah,
Manny says he's having Twix crispy rolls and a cup of tea. Crispy Twix. Interesting.
Nice.
Go on then.
You've gone for savoury. I've gone for sweet. In Sainsbury's at the moment, if you've got your Nectar card, because that's how they trap you. I've gone for the half price
What's
and
the
the
flavour?
salted caramel.
Oh, mate. Pulling it out of the
Salted
bag.
caramel one.
Although the best one, I think, is the Millionaire one. The one
Yeah, that's
is.
quite nice. No, but both are really nice, actually.
But the Millionaire one was full price at £4.
I know.
Mate.
The
Can't
salted
believe
caramel is £2 at the minute in Sainsbury's.
Bargain FC, mate. Bargain FC. Come on. What's Arsene taught us? Hot Nudge Hirsch Patel says tea and biscuits orange club. Gee, I've not had a club in so long. And do you remember?
Oh, the orange one's the only
back
one.
They're so good. They're so good. But do you remember that sort of chocolate bar trio was the best, wasn't it?
That was the best one. The caramel, trio, you couldn't beat it. And also, you got as a kid, you got a nice little sticker or something like that in the wrapper. Oh yeah.
Hero Donata says, good morning, champions by Destiny. I hope that positivity lasts for the next couple of weeks. Cookie dough M&Ms with a cup of finest Yorkshire tea, indeed. Come on then, Yembele, what you got as I take pelters for disregarding cherries?
Yeah, cherries are okay. I went to the Boss Man shop, got some Milka with Oreo center cookies. Now,
yeah, boy.
Have you had this?
No, I've not. Come on, tuck in. Open one up.
I'm so intrigued.
Dissect it, review it, reflect. V Vlad says you've never just had good cherries, FK. Elite fruit. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. If the cherries win on Tuesday, I'll be very, very happy. Might be my elite fruit. Go on then. Yeah, what's he doing? Oh,
We're all rocking up to the next snack check with cherries if
I think he likes
Bournemouth
it.
do it.
I think he likes it. Look at his face.
Oh my word, Milker!
Is it
what
soft or is it hard?
Yeah, mate, it is.
You know how technology works, right? Yeah. If you move it closer to the, this guy's like,
You know the
head of
Oreo
tech,
center. You
wherever
know
he
the
works.
Oreo center. The Oreo
Yeah,
center.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
that. Do you know what? Milker have smashed it again. I don't.
Okay.
It's just banger after banger. I'm not
Amazing.
going-
Dan says he's having a bit of flatbread and hummus. Melissa says she's having strawberries and grapes. M&S, baby. You've been on a real health kick recently, Melissa. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Talking about hummus, we had an elite conversation in midweek about M&S hummus. Oh,
M&S.
M&S hummus is the best hummus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know what?
Question.
We are potentially on the cusp of greatness, Faisal, aren't we?
Yes.
M&S.
There is a rumor that
There
at
is
the
a
end of
rumour.
our road, there is going to be a mini M&S food hall. Oh, mate,
My
I would be so
word.
happy.
My God.
DJ Khaled, Stroop Waffles, mate, my guy. He knows. Logical, there had to be one. Logical nonsense. The tears of our rivals. Listen, that's been a great snack check. Thank you so much for that. Karen says strawberries and cream. Bit early, but Wimbledon styly. She's looking forward to that. MK is having special K with chocolate protein powder in milk and green tea. Sounds healthy. Enjoy it. Let's just wish that you enjoy it. Enjoy that.
Special K. Didn't that go out in the 90s?
Ramona's hummus. Ramona's hummus?
Yeah, it's a brand. I don't like it very much.
Okay.
Look,
M&S food hall
M&S.
is elite. Anything dark chocolate, I'm all over. Well done. I went to an Aldi. Did I go to an Aldi or was that a Lidl? Which one's the one on the Edmonton North Circuit game?
Aldi.
I went to an Aldi for the first time. Loved it.
Mate,
Absolutely
you love it when you get to the checkout and you're like, wow, how much did that cost?
Mate, I got like a rip-off Coke and a rip-off Fanta for like 70 pence, a 2-litre bottle.
Honestly.
I mean, it's so bad for your health, and you wonder why kids are like high on sugar. But honestly, unbelievable value.
See, Mike's comment there is really summed it up because you're getting excited by an Aldi. Look at what the
all right, Mr. Moneybags. We don't all get to shop in M&S all the time. Yeah, we've seen your flipping snack check lunches and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Willomo, it's nothing to do with. It's just where we live. There's not been an Aldi near us for the longest time. There was one in, I think, Newbury Park or Chadwell Heath, but just
Waitrose only around there.
Mate, M&S literally is about to take over the game, baby. I'm so excited, honestly.
Look at him. Look at his face. Right, let's get away from Snack Check. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hundreds of you watching live on YouTube. If you're watching for the first time and you enjoy tonight's content, please do, of course, subscribe to the channel on our way to 30,000 subs, edging closer every single day. And what's not to like? Late night lounges on a Friday, match reactions on a match day, match preview shows, daily grinds, and so much content to come over the summer. I cannot wait for it. Let us indulge and talk about the new kit. A new home shirt has been dropped today. Wayne, what did you make of the reveal?
The reveal was really, really good. I liked the video. I think all of their sort of merchandise advert videos content is always amazing. I always love some of the throwback content in there, some of the references. It always kind of feels good. I'm not a massive fan of the shirt itself at the minute. Obviously, you have to see it in stores, see it in person, but it's not my favorite Adidas Arsenal shirt. But what I will say is the merch range around the shirt is delicious. There's like a Denmark kind of 90s themed like training type shirt, which is amazing. There's a kind of maroonish zip up jacket, which is beautiful. There's a tracksuit for training, which is the black and white and red, which is gorgeous. So yeah, I love merch drops. And we've got obviously a good friend, Matt. He's obsessed with merch. So yeah, it was all in our socials, all in our group chats all day today. And yeah, I thought it was a really good drop. The one disappointing thing is that for people that tried to buy it today, the discount wasn't working on Arsenal Direct for whatever reason.
Yeah, I saw that. It was discounted at Adidas, but it wasn't at our club website. So really interesting that. Just on the new shirt. Oh, by the way, Yembele, are you ready for an exclusive? Tom says, lads, I work at M&S and I can tell you exactly if we're planning it or not. Where are you based? So, Tom, we are based in Woodford, my friend. Any sort of ITK, M&S ITK. How about that? If you just slide into the old DMs or let me know, my friend, I would be very, very happy. Unless, of course, it's a no.
When you're doing that, Tom, can you please just settle my nerves? Because the rumours are that the Lewisham food hall and big M&S is closing down in November.
What has this show become?
If you could just please confirm that that's not the case.
Appreciate you, Dan. We appreciate everything you guys do on Latte FM. Thank you for that. Willomo, what's the deal with Deal? I'm going to let you guys Google that and read all about it. It is a little bit controversial, so do check that out. I don't want to speculate too much or spread anything.
FK, can we just make sure with Tom as well? Any potential for sponsorship as well of podcasts? And,
yeah, Tom, where have you been? Come on, man. M&S, have a word. Just cover the running costs.
We literally can do product placement. We can do product placement, multiple product placements. Come on.
Imagine that. 1 week, Cajun flavored peanuts. The next week, cinnamon buns. The week after that, yum yums. And then maybe some chocolate eclairs, mate. Imagine.
The heat.
We three together can sell your products better than any advert.
Could you imagine?
Better than any advert. Trust me, we can sell it.
Mate, we can. The cuffs look bad, says I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's kind of like a weavy, just like you can see around the neck. I do like the detail around the Arsenal badge. I like the sort of the background drop of the red shirt. I don't mind the shoulder stripes, the Adidas stripes. I'm a big fan of. The lettering looks good. There's Ezra's lettering on some of the pictures. Someone asked earlier, where is Calafiori? Listen, if you want me to host a channel and not lose my concentration, then you will understand why I don't pick Ricky Calafiori for these pictures, because he looked absolutely divine in the shirt. Adil says, not the best kit, although the gold PL badge will make it look nice indeed. Are we going to buy it, chaps? What are you saying? Short sleeve, long sleeve? You're going to go for it?
Listen, in about 3 weeks' time, I might buy the whole store with multiple lettering on the back that spells certain words that I'm not going to say just yet because I don't want to jinx anything.
After review 19, there you go.
That certain champions maybe with 26 on the back. Get that framed. Oh yeah,
love it. Melissa says, same Wayne. I don't love the home shirt, but I'm sure it's going to grow on me. Away is good though. We're going to have to wait and see. And shout out to the Guna guy who works in M&S Bath. Oh, there you go. While he's here, I also work at M&S. Can get you discounted products as long as payment is in advance. Believe you already have my account deets. This guy, this MF, owes me so much money for all the trips to Manchester and this, that, and the other. But whenever he needs money, he's always piping up. What a guy. Yeah, listen, I quite like this shirt. I can't lie. And there is a technique or a tactic that Ali Ladier on X has shared about taking off certain parts of the shirt, if you know what I mean, using a certain chemical and an iron. So if you want to unsleeve your shirt, then you can do that. But yeah, I quite like it. I think I might go for the old long sleeve L Yembele, because I do like the shirt. Everything looks good on Declan Rice and Gabby, but yeah, I do like it. Ordered, says Arnold Bertrand. Good for you, my friend. I hope you got the discount. Okay, let us move on to actual Arsenal content now. I want to start with our number one. So Adam Keys of the Arsenal Therapy joined me last night. And chaps, what a tremendous goalkeeper we have on our hands. 3 successive golden gloves. I've got a shot map or a save map or a goal conceded map on the next slide. But I just want you guys to just reflect for a moment and talk about David Raya and where you think he ranks in terms of all Arsenal goalkeeping greats. Yembele, you first.
I think where he ranks will probably be in somewhat dictated by how the season ends, because his contribution to potentially what we could do has been massive. I think he's certainly up there with one of our best goalkeepers. Again, I'll say it's quite hard to compare him to my favourite, which is David Seaman, but he's not far off. I think he's been exceptional, and I've tooted his horn for such a long time. It still baffles me how Spain do not select him as their number one and select Unai Simon. It just doesn't make sense to me. You've got possibly the best goalkeeper in the world. I think he is at the moment on form, because you can't deny 3 Golden Gloves, least goals conceded in the Premier League, obviously. It just doesn't make sense to me how he's not. He doesn't get his flowers. He's so underrated. People still rate Buffon. Maybe that's some of the Arsenal bias, but the numbers don't lie. In this title race, Buffon has, sorry, not Buffon, Donnarumma. I keep going Buffon because Buffon's one of my favourites as well. But Donnarumma, do you remember there was that whole, and we've talked about it, Van der Sar said, in that Monday Night Football little piece where they compared Raya and Donnarumma, and it was thought Donnarumma would be the one to win City the title eventually because he's a difference maker. Well, actually, the tables turned, didn't it? Because I think Raya has been the one that saved Arsenal on occasion. That West Ham game, certainly, with Matheus Fernandez's chance. And Donnarumma really hasn't really covered himself in glory, given that he fumbles corners, etc. So the numbers don't lie, but I still think the problem will be that people still underrate David Raya. He's had it since he's joined Arsenal. It's not been. I don't think I've seen anyone, and that includes fellow goalkeepers like Van der Sar or Peter Schmeichel, but we know Peter Schmeichel's agenda. It's pretty obvious at the moment that he doesn't rate a goalkeeper who's been top-notch in every department. Is he going to save every shot? No. But has he shaved the majority of us? Has he kept us in games? Has he been that difference maker? I think Sunday, if you look at it, if you think about those moments that you go back to, a couple of years ago where Son was through and, Ederson saved a potential goal. David Raya had that at West Ham, I think, to win us the title potentially. So absolutely. I just wish more people would give him his flowers and that he would get the recognition he deserves.
Wayne, Mike says David Raya is the best goalkeeper that he's seen in his lifetime. And Scott's followed up by saying, I hope he's thanking Big Gabby and Saliba or taking them out for dinner for all of their help. And that's quite an interesting sort of point because defensively, we've been really good over the last few years because of the defensive pairing also in front of David Raya. So is David Raya an outstanding goalkeeper and I guess responsible for these clean sheets? Or is it because he plays with unbelievable defenders and a strong structure? And where does he rank for you as one of Arsenal's goalkeeping greats?
He's not solely responsible, but I think he plays a bigger part than a lot of our fan base until recently were willing to admit. I've been on the David Raya player of the season train for us, at least, since about January. I think I first mentioned it on here because there are times where he is not just a goalkeeper. He's the extra outfield player. He's playing the ball with his feet. And even if he's not pulling off saves like the Fernandez one against West Ham last week, he is keeping clean sheets through doing things that look so easy but are so difficult. Claiming a cross, claiming a long throw, sweeping up, being off his line fast and breaking up an attack where it could be a counter-attack. And yeah, he's going to have made mistakes throughout the season, but he's not made any more mistakes than the likes of a Gabriel or a Saliba has throughout the course of the season. We just remember it more because it's a goalkeeper. I think in terms of where he rates at the moment, with all of these conversations, I think it will always depend and come down to what he wins. So at the minute, he's probably third, I would say. I think in terms of our Emirates era goalkeepers, he's by far and away the best. But I would say that he's probably at the minute behind Jens Lehmann, who I'd have second, and I'd have obviously David Seaman in first. If he wins one of the two this season, he probably overtakes Jens for me. And I know that Jens obviously had more moments with a invincible side, and we obviously know him for that. But I think goalkeeper ability-wise, David Raya is better. If he wins both of them, I think that David Raya goes to number one simply because of that accolade, particularly in the Champions League. No one's ever done that for us before. I struggle to see, one thing I will give him immense credit for, I struggle to see, and I know the game has completely changed, I struggle to see either Jens, Seaman, or any of our previous goalkeepers really, apart from, I guess, Ramsdale, doing some of the things that Raya does with his feet and playing football the way that we need our goalkeeper to now. And yeah, it's a different era, but I'll give him a lot of credit for that because he's brought another dimension to us.
And that is exactly the reason why, for me, I think he's the greatest of the lot. I loved David Seaman at Arsenal Football Club and will always have the fondest memories of that guy. What a magnificent servant. What a great goalkeeper. Jens Lehmann, crazy Jens. I mean, what a tremendous goalkeeper. His the spice that he'd bring to games, his temper, his demeanor, just a brilliant goalkeeper and had such an edge about him. But I have to say, I think David Raya can do everything that those two did and more. And I think this guy has revolutionized the goalkeeping position for me. And I've watched a lot of football and I've seen lots of players and lots of goalkeepers. And I think this guy is doing things that my brain did not have the capacity to even imagine. And when you think about what he does on the ball, the way he just plays that sweeper keeper role, the way he gets us going from the back, he's almost like the deepest lying playmaker. I mean, he pings the ball left foot, right foot, long, short, high, low. He's got everything in his locker. And, there was one sort of maybe tongue in cheek, maybe he doesn't get the respect, said Jizzle, because of his height, because he's not the biggest framed, but his decision making, his courage, his claiming, his catching, his saving, his ball playing ability, his confidence, the calmness that he exudes as well. The sign or the key sort of metric of any goalkeeper is how calm do you feel when either a striker is through, or when you're defending a set piece, or you're coming up against a very sort of physical, aerially dominant attack. I never worry when he's playing in goal. Never. And I feel safe when David Raya's in goal. And I think, 3 Golden Gloves. He's not the first goalkeeper to do that. I think he's the 4th goalkeeper to do that in a row. But this guy is just another level. You can see the shot save map from our partners Opta Analyst on the right-hand side. You can see there the array of positions in the goal where the ball's ended up. The 26 goals conceded in that sort of pinky color. The white dots represent saves, 59 of those this season so far, a save percentage of almost 70%. I'm not actually sure how that sort of ranks compared to other goalkeepers, but there's no obvious weakness there. Like, the goals are just, it's not as if like there's a favorite side that people are going to go down or a favorite part of the goal. A lot of it is fortune. A lot of it is sometimes, where the players arrive in the box and whatnot. But I love this guy. And to your point, Yembele, what a massive save on Sunday. I've watched it 100 times in slow motion, and every time I watch it, I get freaked out and panicked that, oh my God, he's going to score. But I just love the way that he stood up to Mateus Fernandes. And a bit like we were saying yesterday on the phone in, David Raya basically said, not today. Not today. And I think that is a title-winning performance and a title-winning save. What a player. £30 million, best £30 million we've ever spent. Honestly, goalkeeper-wise, just ridiculous. Where do you think he ranks in terms of player of the season shouts? Raphael says he's player of the season. Easy. Layman is a cult hero, says Moots. Absolutely. Matthew says FK Seaman was our best penalty shot stopper. David Raya saved a few penalties in his time. It's probably fewer penalties.
It's not as strong as he saved one or two, but
it's not. But then David Seaman, it feels like completely, just from instinctively, it feels like David Seaman faced a lot more pens. We're so calm and measured, and the opposition barely get the ball in our box. Ballon d'Or level goalkeeper, says Misunderstood Ninja. Where do you rank him, chaps, in terms of this season's player of the season shouts?
I think for me, it's a shame that for whatever reason, goalkeepers don't win it. And to be fair, defenders don't win it either. And I don't know if it's just because obviously they're less involved than midfielders and attackers. I think for me, if he won player of the season, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think he's probably just behind Declan Rice. But they're like 1A and 1B from our side, in my opinion.
I will say that there's a couple of games still left to play where he could cement himself depending on what happens.
So for me personally, I don't think winning honours has anything to do with how good a player you are. Because I'm
not saying that.
No. But yeah, Wayne was saying it earlier about if he wins one, then he goes above. I don't think winning the trophy next weekend is going to elevate anything that he's done over the last 3-4 years. He's been consistently an unbelievable performer, and the outcome of one game next week or the week after, I don't think changes anything for me.
No, but I will say that what he could potentially do, like he did at the West Ham games we talked about, potentially in a final or the last couple of games, could elevate him well beyond what we're currently thinking. Because again, as Wayne said, it's very unlikely that a goalkeeper wins the player of the year. It's a shame because I think he hasn't done nothing wrong at all. I think very few goalkeepers have that kind of consistency in their season where they, where very few errors come out. He's had the odd brain fart moment, but it's like once in a blue moon. Generally, his decision making has been spot on. But what goalkeeper is? I mean, we've seen what supposedly is the best in Donnarumma consistently make silly errors. This none of them will ever be invincible. It's nigh impossible. But he's in the modern game where the speed and the thought of action is so much quicker than in previous eras. He stands out for me because, as we've all said, he does everything, which is very hard to do. To find a keeper who does everything is very hard at this stage.
Yeah, I can't knock that. Lots of people saying that he's player of the season material. Here's an interesting comment from our boy Hand of Arsenal. Raya is pivotal to our attacking corners, but he cannot reveal too much on it. There you go. I always thought it was Yuri and Timber. Remember, Yem? I've told you so many times.
He's but I have noticed. Hand of Arsenal, I have noticed it at games. When he mentioned it, Hand of Arsenal mentioned it before. I started watching it at games, and I do see what he's saying. So it is very interesting.
That's why you're a TNT analyst, and that's why you're here on a Friday night on the Late Night Lounge, educating the nation, educating the world. I love it. Dark Teta, what a great name, Dark Teta. Much more competitive Premier League with goal scoring during Raya's tenure too. Mo Salah, Erling Haaland, etc. Look, it's a different game. It's played at a frenetic pace, and I think this guy's been absolutely unbelievable. What a goalkeeper. Let's move away from David Raya. Hundreds of you watching. Hope you're enjoying the show. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. The manager of the season shortlist was announced. Again, I covered this very briefly with Adam last night. These are the 6 that have been portrayed shortlisted for the award. I do want to get your thoughts on this. In chat, let me know. Who would be your manager of the season and why? So we have Keith Andrews of Brentford. What have you got for me, Keith? Liverpool on the last day of the season. Mikel Arteta, Senor Arteta, is now also a candidate for that. Michael Carrick, who's close to agreeing a 2-year contract at Old Trafford. Pep Guardiola, of course, Manchester City manager, who will buy apparently a Rolex watch for every Burnley player if they can beat us on Monday. Andoni Iraola, Bournemouth coach, outgoing Bournemouth coach, potentially going to end up at Palace, which is where we head on the last day of the season. And Reggie Lebris, who's had a really good season with Sunderland, but they have faded. Wayne, where's your money? What's your prediction and what do you make of these nominations?
This is another one that I hate the fact that they announce these nominees before the end of the season because you never know what's necessarily going to happen. And it's another award that I don't always agree with the winner. If you look through recent history, at least, the winner's always been whoever wins the title. So let's say the league were to end tomorrow, Arteta would be manager of the year or manager of the season. And I don't always think that that's a fair assessment for managers because I think obviously us winning the title is a massive accomplishment. But I think look at what Andrews has done at Brentford. Everyone had them down for relegation. And they were fighting until last week for a Champions League spot. That is an immense job. For me, right now, today, I'd probably say Iraola is the manager of the season. And a lot of that is bribery to get a win for us next week. But again, it's another one where Bournemouth sold players in the summer. They arguably got worse. They got younger. And he's got them on the verge of Champions League, especially if they beat Manchester City. They've got a real opportunity at it. But yeah, it normally tends to go to the winner of the league. And in this case, hopefully it's Arteta. But I don't always agree with that.
He says it with such gritted teeth, isn't he?
No,
every manager deserves the award, apart from the gaffer. It normally goes to the team that won the league, and hopefully we win it. But I don't agree with it.
No, it's the same last year. Slot got it, and I thought that Eddie Howe probably deserved it for having Newcastle finish third or whatever they were. I think that Newcastle finishing third is a bigger managerial job than Slot winning the league with Liverpool, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I'll tell you who's not on there. Unai fucking Emery.
No, but he should be there ahead of Carrick. He should absolutely be there ahead of Carrick.
No, shut up. Right, Wayne, Yembele, who's your shout? As Henkeho says, should be Arteta. In fact, just on this, Pep. I mean, I actually think this is probably one of Pep's worst seasons, given everything that they have and all they've spent and all the 1-1-5. They might actually end up with a domestic cup double. I mean, they could still win the league, but if they end up winning just the Carabao and the FA Cup, then it's not really the best season because you'd expect them to be flying every season with all the cheating that they do. Yembele, your thoughts?
I think Mikel will win it if he wins the title because, again, as Wayne said, it does typically go to the winner of the Premier League. I think it's well deserved in that respect. But again, we do have to shout out Keith Andrews, Iraola, and Regis Labrie. Fabulous seasons. I think each of them individually have done amazing things for their club. Iraola has, as you said, brought them to the cusp of European football for the first time ever. Regis Labrie, when Sunderland came up via the playoffs, no one gave them a hope in hell because they came through the playoffs and their biggest player, Bellingham, had been sold off. He's absolutely smashed it in terms of where they've ended up, and they've been awkward. We found out firsthand how awkward they are. Keith Andrews, as you said, he was down and out for a while and then absolutely turned it around and is now one of the most awkward teams. So I think Arteta will win it, but those three definitely have a great share. I still don't think Carrick should be on this list. He's had half a season, and he's playing at
He's done really well, to be fair.
No. I'm not having this. There's better out there. There's better candidates out there than Michael Carrick. Give him a full season with Champions League, where Man United should be, and then let's see how he does. But again, this has got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vibes about it. Again, it's history repeating himself. And Pep, as you said, Pep's, when you can spend 100 million in your transfer window, it's, what do you expect? What you are gonna be competitive. Sorry, that doesn't mean you're a good manager necessarily. I'm not saying Pep isn't, but he's had the helping hand for a while. This season's been one of his worst in terms of performances consistently. So I think Arteta will win it, but the other three should definitely be in with a shout. Carrick and Pep should not even be near this.
Alien says Rossinia, unlucky not to be nominated. I tell you who's missing from this list. Igor Tudor. What a magnificent job this guy has done as Spurs.
Igor, we salute you for your service in taking Spurs to a place they've never been to.
Indeed. Brother, you are welcome to join us for any potential parade.
Oh, no. Thomas Frank as well. Top notch.
Indeed. Tony says Q. So Arteta could win the league and Champions League, and you think Areola or Andrews? Amazing. Let's give it to De Zerbi if he keeps the Spurs up. Yeah, indeed. Right, let's move away from the manager of the month. Let's talk about actual Arsenal content now, and let's talk about how we've bounced back as we pursue a delightful double. Look at those trophies. Look how good the red and white ribbons look on that Premier League trophy. It's got to come home, baby. It's got to come home. And the one with the big ears. There should be ribbons on that, but we are, of course, fighting for that. Our second ever final in the Champions League, and hopefully on our way to a delightful double, like I say. But since the result at the Etihad, our results have been so good. Clean sheets galore, apart from that draw away at Atletico. But Newcastle United at home, Fulham at home, West Ham away last week, of course. It's been quite the reaction, Yembele. And to be fair, we talked about the green shoots that we saw in that City performance. But do you sort of sit back and reflect and think, actually, you could have seen this coming? Because the 4 wins that we've got have been very, very impressive wins, Jim.
I don't think we could have seen this coming because, again, we've been, our form has been, in April was awful, absolutely awful. And I think getting out of that slump was key. And obviously, as you said, we saw the green shoots during the City game. So whatever happened from there, the turnaround has been, not amazing, but it's great that we've been able to reverse the trajectory because it's taken us to where we are within touching distance of a couple of, of the 2 biggest trophies, and which we've also, which me and Faisal have said, not Wayne necessarily because he's classed the Carabao Cup right up there, but the 2 big ones which we prioritised, and we're within touching distance of them. The Premier League should be attainable. The Champions League, obviously, it's a much more difficult task against the team that we're going to play. But the return to form has been very much welcome. And Newcastle, always a tough game, but I thought we did really well in that. And although we got the draw at Atletico, I thought actually it was a really, really good performance. And to be honest, it took a penalty from a typical Champions League VAR call that it was given. But I thought the performance was actually really outstanding for a European performance, well controlled. really disciplined, and I don't think Atletico really had too much apart from a 15-minute spell. The Fulham game, top notch, absolutely destroyed them. I know there was some mitigating circumstances, but you win. You put whatever's in front of you, and you win. That's it. Atletico Madrid, great night. Doesn't matter how it happens, get the goal and get through the Champions League final. West Ham, for the first 20 minutes, we were absolutely dominant. There was no doubt about it. If we had stayed with the same team for that 20 minutes, would have dominated the game. I'm pretty sure of it, because it wasn't even a contest at that point. We were just flowing. You know, when Arsenal get into that flow and you could feel it, that we were going to have a good afternoon. And then obviously, as usual, our injury curse strikes, but we ground out the win, and we ground it out. Let's not kid ourselves. That Fernandes chance, there was, West Ham had a very good spell at points, and obviously then we got some luck, we'll call it that, with the VAR call. But again, you've got to make your luck, and we're there. We assume that Burnley at home, a team that are relegated, have no manager, should be a winnable game. Crystal Palace then, again, tough team, but they're going to have priorities elsewhere. We should be winning. But I think our form has been really, really good. It's welcome. Are we flying as we would love to be this whole season? No. We are where we are, grinding out wins, getting wins how we can. That's all we need. And that's all we've said we needed.
Misunderstood Ninja says, just grind out the wins. Here's a question, looking ahead to Burnley. Tony Wayne says, guys, if you could swap the fixtures around, would you rather play Palace at home and then Burnley away? I did think about this week, but I don't like the idea of going up to Lancashire and playing Burnley last game of the season.
I like the fact that our final 5 games of the season in the league are all in London. I think that's been a real benefit for us. I think the fact that whenever usually when we come to the end of the season, it's a beautiful sunny day, and the last game of the Emirates is normally, whether we're in with the opportunity of winning something or not, it's always like a party there. We play some good football and we see out the season nicely. I'm hoping that obviously that's the same case on Monday against Burnley, but no, traveling up north at any time in the season is dreadful, let alone on the final day. So yeah, let's away at Palace is fine. And somebody tweeted it on social media, and I thought that they put it really, really nicely. If that is the game where we can confirm Premier League champions, it feels nice that that's kind of where it started. Everyone remembers that Crystal Palace visit in the pink kit where Gabriel Jesus was looking like the best striker in the world, and we were playing some wonderful football. There's just something quite nice about that being the end of this part of the story, if that is to happen.
Alion says, if we haven't scored against Burnley, at what minute do we start getting nervous?
The first.
Alion, have you met Yembele? Yembele's nervous already. It's Friday night, and
but the thing is, isn't it, that if Burnley beat City and we beat, if Bournemouth beats City and we win at Burnley, that's it, isn't it?
Yes, that's done. Well, they just need to draw. I think if they draw
if they draw, that's it. Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep, all they have to do is drop points. So Bournemouth, who are going for potentially a Champions League position, certainly European football, they have a chance to do the funniest thing. Hannah of Arsenal says, genuinely my favourite part of the season is never, ever giving up on Mikel. Even when it got really dark, he deserves it all, my manager. My man, until the wheels fall off. Let me tell you, I have backed this guy, and I cannot wait for him to do it. Oh my God. Mike, by the way, coming back to Tony's question, says, I'd have lost my body weight in sweat if the fixtures had been reversed. Indeed. Let's move on to On This Day, because chaps, 2 very, very special anniversaries. First up, 22 years ago, the Arsenal ended the season unbeaten. Papa Weng's right there lifting the trophy. What a glorious look that is. 38 games played, 26 games won, 12 drawn, and really importantly, none lost. And 10 years to this day, Mikel Arteta retired from playing professional football. The win against Aston Villa at home. And then he cried in his post-match interview. He cried as he went off the pitch, and he said he said something like, this club is class. And, you remember everything about this club, and, he gave his everything. And here he is, 10 years later, on the cusp of potentially the most insane double. So my first question to you, Wayne, is, if he does the double, does this go down as the greatest season of all time? And does it surpass going unbeaten?
I think it would do, because it would be the first time that we've won the Champions League. And then when you put that alongside the fact that we've not won the league for 22 years, that feeling, then I just think, yeah, like the emotions of it, the feeling of it, the joy of it, the happiness of it, the relief of it, it would go down as I think it would, just because the Champions League is just that massive. I don't think the Invincibles will ever be matched by anyone in any season in the Premier League ever again. I think it's way too competitive for that now. I think there's too much money in the game, and I just think that teams are too good nowadays for that to happen. And we were so exceptional then that we didn't allow ourselves to get lost. I don't think teams can be that exceptional now. The playing field is kind of leveled a little bit more. But yeah, for us, just to go so long without a Premier League title, that alone is going to put it up there just for feeling. But when you add the Champions League next to it, and if we get that over the line as well, I think for us it will go just above it. But both would be sweet for many, many different reasons.
And Yem, where would Mikel Arteta rank if he was able to secure this double? Would he automatically go in as the greatest of all time at Arsenal Football Club?
He's not far off. He probably might be there. The reason is as Wayne said, he could possibly do something that we've not done. He would be the first, the only one to win the Champions League. It's something Wenger has not even done. Wenger obviously changed football. He changed Arsenal. So you can never say he's not the godfather of Arsenal, because he literally changed how we are as a club. He brought attacking football a different way. He built the Emirates, almost by himself, with his will and his ability to save money. So there's a lot we have to be thankful for Arsene Wenger for. But the first manager potentially to win the Champions League, that's massive. You can't take away from it, because we can call ourselves a big club. Yes, size-wise, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. But we all know, and we all know deep down, until we win the Champions League, we cannot be truly up there, because you haven't won the big one. We are too close, and the fact is that we should be winning the Champions League. We should be there. And he's almost done it. He's almost there. So if he does it, for me, yeah, I think he might be out there on his own because of the nature of the Champions League, its significance. I think you'd have to put respect on him in terms of no one else has done it at Arsenal. Has anyone else done it at Arsenal? No.
And yet Wayne still wants him out. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I think you're going a bit far to put him above Wenger because of one Champions League. He'd definitely be second, and he'd get whatever the new contract is. Is it 3-4 years? By the end of that, yeah, he could absolutely be above Wenger. But Wenger 3 league titles, all of the other cups that he won as well. I don't think the significance of the Champions League is massive, but I don't think it will be enough yet to just put him above Wenger. And I'm not even Wenger's biggest fan. I'm surprised that you're even entertaining this discussion, FK. You should be. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I haven't given my answer yet. I have to ask the question. And let me remind you, the biggest trophy that Arsene Wenger won was the stadium that we sit in. Let me tell you that, right?
God.
He built it brick by brick with his bare hands.
Cool. He built it brick by brick, but we win the Champions League. It's being named the Mikel Arteta Arena before.
Probably, yeah, the Arteta Arena. Scott Graham says, I have a doctor appointment Monday afternoon, so I can take off work for the Scott Graham, I hope you're
well played. Well played, my friend.
Very well played. Very, very well played. Amadou, welcome to the show. Says equally special days, I'd say, the day we lifted the gold trophy and the day that Mikel Arteta retired as a player. Indy Barge, welcome. And he's been active in the chat all throughout. Says the fact that Arteta and Mertesacker were panic signings. Do you know what? Arsenal went to Old Trafford, lost 8-2. Arsene Wenger then panicked into a Mikel Arteta and Per Mertesacker double. Big man's done it again. He's done it again. You just can't beat that guy. Oh, what a man. What a man, Papa Vengs. And listen, Arsene, surely, as Whole Milk says, he's going to be there for that trophy lift. Did I tell you guys, I had a dream, by the way, 2 nights ago. I dreamt that we scored at Emirates, Burnley, and the place was rocking, bouncing, North Bank going nuts. And then the camera panned to the big screen, and it was just Arsene Wenger with his, clenched fists and looking up to the sky with his eyes shut as he used to do in that trademark celebration. Mate, what a day that would be. Surely Arsenal's going to get to the Emirates on Monday.
Will we see Wenger cry? Will we see Wenger cry if we do it? If we do both?
Nah, I don't think he'd cry. I mean, the guy didn't cry on his.
He didn't cry for himself.
Nah, I just think Arsenal's just he's incredible. Hannah Varsel says Arteta would be second to Wenger. I know there's a lot of people that respect what Herbert Chapman did and all that sort of stuff, but pre our lifetime, well, not Yembele's, but yeah, pre mine and Wayne's lifetime, we can't really comment on that. But Wenger is number one, says Claire. Wenger did a lot. Yeah, Hannah, I tell you what, he's in the chat and he's nailed it. Wenger built this club and Arteta turned the lights on.
Not yet. That Premier League trophy has got that little light thing, hasn't it? That he'll turn on once he wins it.
That's true. It's a genuine quote from Gunner Blog. I didn't even realise. Thomason's here. Hello, guys. No, bring me Zidane.
I think
Come on, man.
Zidane is the best man. Zidane is the best Arsenal man.
Come on, man. I'm in trouble. Says Wayne is a rival plant.
I think you guys. I think you guys take what I say way too seriously. I said I'm not Wenger's biggest fan because I have Wenger's biggest fan on this show right here. Wenger's son is bald and looking at us.
This is true. But yeah, listen. What a couple of days. What a 2 special days in our club history. Who would have thought Mikel Arteta would have gone on to coach under Pep Guardiola and then obviously manage Arsenal Football Club? And listen, he's only 44. And he's got years in the tank and he can achieve whatever he wants to achieve. And Arsene Wenger, of course, who just did so much for Arsenal, including that unbeaten season. For me, I think going unbeaten is harder than doing the Champions League and Premier League double. I can't see it ever being done. Everyone, there's clubs that have done the Champions League and the Premier League double. There's clubs that have done the treble. But the Invincibles is something else, man. Dark Tedder says Wenger built the Emirates, but North London forever is Arteta's indeed. Right, let's move away from these 2 anniversaries and let's look ahead to the Barclays weekend. We are 2 clear with 2 to play. Chaps, Manchester City played in midweek. Crystal Palace turned up at the Etihad. They got pumped 3-0. So all of a sudden, the goal difference is now in Manchester City's favour. So you can see, courtesy of the PremierLeague.com on the right-hand side, Arsenal top played 36, 42 goal difference with 79 points. Manchester City played 36, 43 goal difference and 77 points. They are, of course, 2 points behind us. We have that cushion. So it's imperative that we beat Burnley on Monday. And then you never know. Andoni Iraola's men in his last home game of the season on the South Coast under the lights could do the funniest thing the very next night. Are you scared, Yembele? Are you worried about City and how they, as Phil Foden said in his post-match interview, always have a special last day of the season?
I'm not worried. I think we...
Oh, it's over, Wayne. It's so over. Yem's not worried. What's going on?
No, I am wary because Arsenal have form. But I think the circumstances of the timing of the game with Crystal Palace just lend itself to the fact that we should be able to beat them. Palace have got 3 days before their Conference League final. Surely they're not going to be focused. Their players are going to be trying to not get injured because, again, it's their biggest game. Most of them, for them, it's the biggest game of their careers, playing in a European final. Arsenal will have still a week and a half of rest. So you'd hope that they'd go all out. It'd be a strong squad as well. So I'm wary because Arsenal's Arsenal got history, but I don't think I think we should be beating them, and I think it will be. I think we will lift it there, but I think as well that it may not be even an issue. I think Bournemouth will get something against City because I think they've been really good this season, and I think at home on the South Coast under the lights. I think it could be after a FA Cup hangover because I think City will win tomorrow. I can't see Chelsea doing it. They've been in poor form, but I actually think before even we get to the Crystal Palace game, I think it would have been done. I think we'll beat Burnley.
I have to be honest. I really hope that even though we can't lift the trophy at home, obviously, I really hope that it doesn't go to the last day. I hope City have to play extra time tomorrow and penalties. I don't give a shit if they win it, lose it, don't care. Who cares? 1 or 2 muscle twangs would be great. I want us to get the business done on Monday, and I want City to just drop points on Tuesday, and I want it to just be academic. I want to see that video released on the Wednesday morning of the boys all around Kai Havertz's place, and they're watching it, and then they celebrate just like City did to us a couple of years ago.
I want to see William Saliba celebration because that's going to be mental.
Quite. Wayne, Adil says he's shitting himself. What do you think the mood is in the player camp, Wayne? Because, I mean, look, footballers and managers, they always say, I didn't watch the game, whatever. I'm pretty sure Arsenal watched City on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure that there probably would have been talk in the WhatsApp chat, maybe that night, the next day, about what we need to do. They probably addressed it on the training ground. Are they worried that they're still edging closer? Do you think the boys are worried about the inferior goal difference? Do you think they're worried maybe about what City can do because they've got previous?
No, not really, because everything's in our hands. And I think that's a position that you want to be in. You probably are more worried when you have no control over the situation where, okay, we have to outscore Man City and they have to drop points, for example. You can't control that. If we get 2 1-0 wins, we're champions of the league. It doesn't matter what Manchester City do after that. And
just say that again. Just say that again, Wayne. If we do what, we become what?
If we get just 2 wins, 1-0, do it as scrappy from set pieces as you want.
And then what does that lead us? What does that make us?
We'll become Premier League champions. So I think that for us, it's just business as usual. And I think the way that we've navigated, particularly after the Etihad game, everything about it has just been business as usual. I'm with you. I don't need the tension, energy, thought process of it go into the final day, because even if on paper we'll sit here and rightly say, yeah, we should be beating Crystal Palace, yeah, they'll have all eyes on midweek in the European Conference League, we know how competitive this league is. We've said it all season, and even if we're favourites on paper, football is the dumbest sport for stupid things. So I don't want to feel what Manchester City fans felt for that brief moment when they were down to QPR all those years ago before the Aguero memorable. I don't want an Aguero moment. I don't want to go through that for 96 minutes. I just want to be champions of England. And I don't want, even a few years ago when they were going up against Liverpool, and I think Steven Gerrard was in charge of Aston Villa, Man City went 2-0 down at home in that game against Villa before coming back and winning it. I don't want us coming back to win it. I want us to rest everyone and start looking forward to the Champions League final because we're champions of England. So yeah, for the camp, for the manager, for all of the players, it's just full focused on getting 2 wins by any means necessary. But for the fans on our side of it, I hope they make Burnley as easy as it should be in theory.
Yeah, indeed. Look, Burnley, 19th in the Premier League. They are, of course, relegated. Scott Parker has left and Michael Jackson is now in charge. I knew you would, honestly.
Come on. You know it, mate. Come on.
Oh, you gotta love you, Mbele, honestly. I did laugh at this. Dark Teta says that after West Ham, I'm almost numb. I'm ready. You think you're ready?
Oh,
you are
God.
not, my friend. Let me tell you.
My God.
Can it get worse? It can. Oh, yes, it can. But listen, it's a massive opportunity for us. And I'm actually really pleased that we have had a nice week off. The boys have had some days off. They've come into training. They're probably going to train over the weekend. And then, if you could pick a fixture, any fixture to play at home, Burnley would be in your top 2, obviously. Yeah, you'd probably want to play Wolves to get that revenge, and you'd probably want to play Burnley.
Would we want to play Wolves?
Yeah, you would. Come on.
No, would we want to play Wolves?
You'd want to play Wolves. I mind you. I mean, I guess that late winner against Wolves was box office.
Can you imagine that being for the title? We'd die. We'd literally die.
I mean, last Sunday was bad enough, but yeah. Imagine that. That's nuts. Claire says it doesn't matter what City do as long as we take care of our own business. There was a comment here about Semenyo, and I hadn't thought about that sort of narrative. Here's a story from Grumpy Doctor. One of our Patreon members says, Bournemouth winning against City in front of Semenyo. I see the script, guys. Well, the same could be said about Eze going back to Crystal Palace, but let's not talk too much about that. Ryan says, big up everyone, sending us some love. Good to see you in the chat. What have you started, Yem? What have you started? Oh, my God.
Please, says the biggest one of the lot. You know when you want to bust it. You know
what the funniest thing is? I was thinking about this today. Oh my God, what's his name? Oh my God, Michael Jackass.
Lee Francis.
Yeah. What was he? What? Bo Selector.
Bo
Oh my God,
Selector.
mate. Those Michael Jackson. They
And
were the best.
Craig David.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Craig David.
Craig David, sing with me.
But Michael Jackson was the best one. And if you guys are wondering what the hell are these nerds talking about, head over to YouTube, just Google Bo Selector, and then Michael Jackson. It is the
No, just
funniest,
just
wildest
watch
stuff.
Bo Selector because it's so
Or
funny.
just watch
throughout
Bo
the whole-
Selector, yeah, indeed.
I don't know. Do they still show Bo Selector in 2026? I don't know if I think that's a cancelable
No,
show.
it's still
To
on
be fair.
YouTube. It's cancelled, of course, but it's still on YouTube. The Beauty of the Pencil, welcome, says every concentration should now be on winning the Burnley game. This is the real final. Winning that will heap pressure on City against Bournemouth. We've had a super chat, sideshow. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Not sure if you've touched on it, lads, but what were each of your reactions to the last few minutes versus West Ham? I was trembling for a good 15 minutes. The match reaction video is live on the channel feed, and Sideshow C is a name that I don't recognize. If you're new, thank you so much for your generous contribution, and thanks for watching. Do check the match reaction video out. If you rewind, rewind, if you go back in time, there is a late night lounge that we also did on Sunday, straight after the game. Check that out as well, my friend, because we go into a lot of detail. But to kind of summarize, yeah, it was not a pleasant last 10, 15 minutes. Let me tell you, it was tense. It was twitchy. It was emotional. I sent my children up to their rooms in a rage in the middle of the day. But then, of course, when the whistle went, it was euphoria and jubilance and breathing again and heartbeat coming back down to normal. It was a mixture of all of the above, but I really appreciate you joining. Sampadi says you guys are overthinking things. We're going to be champions on Tuesday. That's what I just said. That is what I just said. And Will Omo says, Palace, do you want the 10 million or not? Apparently that's not true. Did you guys see that? Tom Canton? Not quite the story.
It's not time for it. We want to
no
believe.
one wants a killjoy. No one wants a killjoy.
That was a dagger, wasn't it? A real dagger. Eminem dressed up as Michael Jackson in the Just Lose It video is hilarious. I don't think I've seen that. I think I might have to check it out. Right, let's move away from this and focus on Burnley for Monday Night Football. And Wayne, you wanted to talk about this. So the image on the left-hand side shows you that Scott Parker's men have been relegated this season. We've just seen them 19th in the Premier League, not having the best of seasons, conceded a shit ton of goals, not quite good enough for the Premier League, although they are really impressive away from home against the Big Six. I'm not going to say anything more, but they are annoyingly good this season. In fact, I'll bring up the stats just while you talk about this. But Wayne, the greet the coach thing, fantastic for a Champions League night. Sea of red with flares. The buses came in. The atmosphere was vibrant outside the Emirates Stadium. But Red Action, Raymond, who I absolutely love, has probably worked with the club and our supporters groups and decided to go again. What do you make of this sort of pre-match routine for what should be, in all of our minds, an academic win on Monday night?
I think it's necessary, not because I don't think the atmosphere is going to be good without it, but I think it made such a big difference to a massive Champions League night. I think if it wasn't our final home game of the season, you could probably argue that this isn't necessary. Like you might not want to do it, but and we've said it now for a good few weeks, a good few home league games. This could be and turn out to be the biggest Premier League game in Emirates history, because if you go on and win it, and then Manchester City do what we hope that they do on Tuesday and drop points, the Premier League champions. And yeah, people can say we're overthinking it, we're making too much, we're giving too much respect to Burnley. That's all fine, fair enough. This isn't necessarily about Burnley. It's about giving the players the loudest amount of support. They all came out when they done interviews, when they were talking to the media, and said how much that they could hear the fans, how much it got behind them. And I think that I was lucky enough to be there at the Atletico sort of pre-game greet the coach. It's a moment that I know that not only me, but a number of fans that were there will never forget. Whether you are in the stadium for the match or not, people will show up to be part of that bus parade, cheer the players on, get behind them, make noise, and then they'll go off to a pub to watch it with their mates. And then we might all come back to celebrate after the game again if it's a massive win. So yeah, whatever we can do as a fan base, especially as a fan base who have been criticized for being too quiet or not having an atmosphere, I am never going to Castle criticize Red Action. If they want to do this for every home game and it makes a bloody difference, I'm all for it, whatever it takes. to get behind the squad and make as much of an atmosphere as possible. And I'm sure that all of the fans that are there, whether it's before the game, during the game, will make it feel like that Atletico game as well.
Yeah, let me put to you the argument that this should be a very straightforward fixture. This should be a routine, if I can say that, performance against a team that's already been relegated at home. It's our last home game of the season. The argument here is, do we need to, I guess, really sort of hype up the occasion and the night and have this sort of reaction or this sort of set up this routine because we did it against the Champions League? It was a special night. We wanted that to be a big game atmosphere. Are we maybe box officing, hyping up a game that doesn't need to be?
Why should it matter? I mean, again, why do people care about it? Again, we're just trying to create an atmosphere.
Does it add to the pressure? Does it? Do you think it maybe makes a bigger deal out of a game that should just be a turn up, win 2 or 3-0, go home, back to bed, and just rest up for Palace?
I think it just puts a little bit more onus on what it can mean to us. But again, I think it's great to create an atmosphere before a game to really G up the players. They said they'd never seen anything like it, and obviously it must have really put into their minds this means something. Again, this game does mean something. Look, again, with respect to Burnley, they should be, this should be a game that we should be winning. But the occasion and what it can mean for the title race, I think it's great that Red Action are trying to put some oomph behind it and trying to engage the fan base and gear us up to look at these 2 games and say, this is big. This is big for Arsenal. This game is one that we should be, hyping up because it's meaningful for the title. If it isn't, then why, then football would be football, would it? I just think fans, rival fans are probably going to say, oh, you've just gone too far with this. I don't really care. I think it's a great initiative by Red Action. I think it's, it makes it meaningful for fans. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And I think that's what you need. The players need that. They want to see that, what their actions are meaningful to the fans and what it brings to them. Because again, bringing the Premier League home after 20 years is such a big thing. It's united the fan base. Our fan base for the first time in a long time is not splintered them. We're focused on winning the Premier League title. There's no discourse about, we should be doing, and this is happening and this is happening. We're very focused. The last 2 games, we know what we have to do. 2 wins to glory.
Just because it's Burnley doesn't make it not a big game.
Exactly.
We could be facing Man United, Spurs, Burnley, Crystal Palace at home on Monday. This moment in our season will still mean the exact same regardless of the opponent. So to me, this doesn't matter. Final home game of the season. This could be the one that decides for us the Premier League trophy. So it's a massive game regardless of the opponent.
Manny says all of us fans are nervous. It's a great way to promote some positive energy versus Burnley. I think you're absolutely right. And listen, last home game of the season, it's probably a good send-off. And as someone said just a short moment ago, we had Raymond from Red Action on the show over the last couple of weeks talking about the effort that goes into match day sort of preparation. And he says, Vlad says, knowing what Raymond says, Mikel probably pushed for this. Yeah, Mikel calls Red Action and the supporters groups our people, and he gets involved in every tifo design, every plan for every game, the match day atmospheres, the announcer, the way that things are announced. Arteta's a lunatic when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Also, as well, don't forget, Burnley have given back quite a bit of their allocation, actually. So there'll be more Arsenal supporters in the ground. So it's
going to be bouncing. Can't wait for it.
And that's what
here's their record against the Big Six in 2026. Burnley 2-2 with Manchester United. They drew away at Anfield. They drew 2-2 against the Spurs. Who made this Big Six? Spurs. Come on. They drew 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. They lost at home to City. And of course, they play Arsenal at the Emirates on Monday. MC Domcar says it's got to be a cauldron in there. Indeed. Will we be playing our AI song? No, we are not going to be playing our AI song, my friend.
We're going to be playing Kimo's song. We're going to be playing Kimo's song. That's what we're going to be playing.
We will be playing Kimo's song.
After review, West Ham number 19,
Hey, get the sunshine hats on. That's what we need. Where's the cat? We need a cat just to come in here. Just
West Ham number 19 commits foul on the goalkeeper.
Kimmo,
It's
you
just
legend.
so good. Do you know what? That is a masterpiece. Kimmo, honestly, he's launched. I think he's released now the entire 3-minute tune. And
Yeah, he has.
honestly, I
Peter,
cannot tell you.
You need to talk to Peter, mate.
It is a banger. It is an absolute certified banger.
If there's a parade, whoever brings that to the parade will have fans for life.
Mate, honestly, he just slaps so hard. Man. I heard it on the underground, and I was gone. I was just that guy on the central line, just going nuts. Oh, it was great, man. It was really, really good. And at the after review bit just gets me every time.
After review.
In the full version, right? Kavanagh's voice just gets like deeper and after review, the West Ham number 19. It's just so good. Honestly, I was balling, man, dancing on the tube. It was so good. So good. Kimmo statue. That's what I'm talking about. Do you know what? If our Arsenal fans have the power to get that into the top 100 charts, I'm telling you. And Will Omo says he fancies going out now. Just get in the club, mate. Get in the club and just let it bang. If you want the full version of that, head over to Patreon. It is available. I've shared the file link. It's in the general chat. You can download it and do what you want with it. Let's move on to the actual game itself then, lads. It is a big game. Form guide for the two teams, as you can see, courtesy of the BBC. We are in good form. 4 wins and a draw in our last 5. 1-0 win against Newcastle. Eberechi's Ez's wonder strike from that corner. 1-1 in Atletico. The Victor Gyökeres penalty. 3-0. Really good performance at home against Fulham. Then, of course, Bukayo Saka sending us through to Budapest. And last Sunday, which aged us all, the 1-0 win. Leo Trossard in the 83rd minute, having survived a David Raya point-blank save just 5 minutes before. Burnley, on the other hand, 4 L's and a draw. Look at that. Brighton beating them 2-0 at Turf Moor. They then went to Forest and got pumped 4-1. Home defeat to Manchester City. I watched that night. They scored after just 6 or 7 minutes, Erling Haaland, but they couldn't capitalise. They went to Ellen Road to face Leeds, who are now safe, of course, in the Premier League. They lost there 3-1. And annoyingly, Villa, who else? The most unpredictable team in the league. They drew 2-2. So look, the form guide reads ominously for Burnley and reads positively for us, but this is the Barclays and it is unpredictable, as we know. Mikel Arteta, Wayne, has named the same team 3 times in the last 3 games. Obviously can't now because Ben White is injured, so there are going to be changes tomorrow. Monday. Can I just ask, before I look at sort of Mikel's press conference highlights and we go through the team, what's your mood going into this game? Are you expecting, right? You're expecting a performance, expecting a win. Is there any doubt in your mind about this game?
There's not any doubt in my mind about this game in particular, but obviously I'm terrified of the context of the game. I'm terrified of the moment. I don't think that we will do anything stupid because we've recently got back to what we've done really well all season, and that's defending really well. We've gone back to our clean sheets. We've been solid at the back. And even though we as fans have been incredibly nervous for the likes of the West Ham game, the likes of the Newcastle game a good few weeks ago, you can't think of many clear-cut chances that, apart from the Fernandes one for West Ham, Newcastle didn't really create anything major. So, yeah, I think I don't really care. I'm not expecting a performance. I'm way beyond that conversation now, and I don't care for a performance. Just get me 3 points however you want, because as long as we win both games, goal difference doesn't matter. If it was a different conversation and goal difference mattered, then yeah, I'd be considering the performance. But just go out there, do your job, play the football that we've been playing in recent weeks, and I'm confident in the boys. They've turned it around since that Etihad game, so there's no reason not to be confident against Burnley.
Lots of people giving me their score predictions. Hold that thought, but lots of people also shouting after review. There you go. Highlights from the press conference today. So on Ricky Calafiori, he was modelling, of course, the new Arsenal home shirt, but he was off at halftime against West Ham. Mikel Arteta said that we've still got a few days ahead of us. Hopefully nothing serious. Just going to have to wait and see how he reacts. Should hopefully be fit. On Jurien Timber, who is, of course, struggling with a recurring ankle injury, says that he's feeling better. He's progressed a little bit this week. The aim is to get him fit and available as quick as possible. He knows that he's an important player. He's doing everything he possibly can to help the team in any capacity. On asked about Ben White, he said that he is going to miss the World Cup. Looks like a long-term injury at the moment. So the focus is going to be getting him back and available for Arsenal, but that's not going to happen for many, many weeks. Doesn't look good for Benjamin. Wish him all the very best, obviously, with his recovery. He then recognises that he has to look for alternatives at right back. Christian Mosquera could be an option, he said, in the defensive line, but Arteta is going to be flexible. I just wonder if he might go for a midfielder at right back, like he tried to do at West Ham, but this is at home to Burnley. We're probably going to dominate the ball and have a bit more of an overload in midfield, but Yem's not happy about that. We'll come on to the team lineup in just a second. Arteta then spoke about the victory against West Ham, winning 1-0 and how we're living in the moment and the players' emotions are in a really good state. The energy level is right. Lots of enthusiasm. I bet training's been absolutely awesome this week. He talked about the importance of goal difference, saying that first of all, we just got to win the games. And if we do that, then obviously we make the difference with more goals. But if we do that, then we will be champions. And he was also asked about Red Action, confirming that there was going to be another Meet the Bus. And this is what the gaffer said. I loved it. I think the players all loved it. It builds an energy and a connection with the fans that we've not experienced before. The whole preparation showed the level of meaning was higher and that the atmosphere showed that the level of passion from our supporters was different as well. It really helped us. And he did say, as I said a few moments ago, he didn't watch Manchester City's 3-0 win over Crystal Palace. Yem, you were shaking your head. What did I say that was making you shake your head? I don't even know.
Don't big brain this, Arteta. Don't do that.
Yes, midfielder at right back. Okay, so let's do this. So David Raya, without question, starting in goal for us, as Raphael says, just win, baby. And MC Dorman wants Jurien to come back. I hope so. Title number 14. Thoughts on the new kit? Check it out. It's at the very start of the show. I know you've just joined late, but do watch it on demand and let us know what your thoughts are on that new jersey. So right back, potentially a midfielder. Could it be Zubimendi or Rice, or is it going to be Christian Mosquera for both of you?
It'll be Mosquera.
Yeah, not even a question. Okay, Thomas says Mosquera in all the remaining games, please. Timber is full of rust. Mosquera or Marley Salmon? No. I think he means to say. No.
Do you know Calafiori's played right back for us before randomly in the game?
Please. Yeah.
I'm not suggesting it. Relax. That's the only thing that I can potentially see Arteta doing, playing Hincapié at left back or at right back and then Calafiori on the other side. And that's assuming Calafiori is back. But no, for me, Mosquera, just keep it simple. Just don't do anything silly. Mosquera in at right back.
Not Martinelli?
Stop.
There you go, Tony. JC says Mosquera for sure. Manny says Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori at left back. MC says play Kepa at right back. Hincapié for right back is a shout, to be fair, says Logical Nonsense. Look, I think it's got to be Christian Mosquera. Look, he's played there before. He doesn't look bad. His recovery pace is good. He's strong. He's difficult to beat. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Saliba, Gabriel, untouched in the centre of defence. Left back, I thought Hincapié was going to get the nod against West Ham, but Mikel Arteta opted for Calafiori, who of course went off at half time. Rumours whether it was tactical. There is obviously a little bit of a knock there. What are we doing there, chaps?
This is a game for Calafiori.
Yeah.
This is a game where he can just run rampant, do what he wants, and just kind of cause Burnley a bunch of issues. In that first, 20 minutes before the Ben White injury, Calafiori was probably our most important player against West Ham, and I can see it being much the same against Burnley. And if his decision-making is on point, then against West Ham, we could have had, 2 or 3 early goals. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's the same against Burnley.
Sorry, I'm laughing at whole milk. Brings back memories. It brings back memories. Adil says Mosquera for White, Gabriel and Saliba. MLS left back. Lewis Skelly's been fabulous, hasn't he, in midfield in recent weeks? And I just wonder if he's having a late surge towards a place for the World Cup. Thomas Tuchel, of course, absolutely loves him. Yeah, look, for left back for me, I think it's got to be Calafiori. We're going to want to tuck him into midfield and just create that overload and let him help out in the attack. And I think he's going to be a great addition to the team, although Nketiah is a more than reliable deputy. And if he is to play at left back, we've got no worries. Middle three. Ødegaard came on and made a real impact, Jem, at the London Stadium. Is that enough to warrant the skipper a start?
Yeah, I think he'll start this one. I think this is a game for him where Burnley will try to sit deep, try and make it tight. I think this is a game where he needs some minutes to get him fit, because I think Arteta will try to put him in the Champions League final. He is the captain. He'll certainly play at Palace. I think he'll play, but I think Miles Lewis-Skelly and Declan Rice will also be there in that midfield. I think the midfield is set because...
Could you just get a little bit closer to your mic, Jem? Because you're...
Yeah, I think it'll be Ødegaard. I think it'll be Ødegaard's Lewis-Skelly and Rice. I think Ødegaard just needs the minutes. Eze didn't have his best game against West Ham. I think Ødegaard needs minutes. He had a fabulous cameo during the West Ham game. I think it's warranted a place for him against Burnley, and I think he can unlock their deep lying defence, which they will obviously do. But yeah, I think a solid base of Lewis-Skelly, Rice will allow Ødegaard to platform correctly and just not having to worry so much about getting into shape. I think they'll provide that solid base that he needs.
This is a really good point from Logical Nonsense. She says Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Skelly play really well together. They do. They complement each other really well. I mean, the thing about Ødegaard and Eze, yeah, look, Eze didn't have a great game against West Ham, but he's a very low-touch player and likes to score goals by shooting on sight, and we didn't really get the ball to him in those sorts of pockets. Ødegaard's a sort of player that, why take 10 touches when he can take 5,000, right? So... but he's patient and he dictates the tempo from deep and he does get us ticking. So look, I'm open to both of these players, but I do think you need a high touch player in that sort of middle of the park.
We need him to get minutes. But
need him to be fit for what might come in Budapest. So for me, I think I'm going to go Ødegaard, Rice and Lewis-Skelly. Wayne?
Yeah, same. I think this probably isn't necessarily the game that showcases Eze's skills as much, but I'm sure he'll have a part to play at some point in the game, and he can make a difference off the bench if necessary.
Would you consider this from Ryan, who says Rice, Ødegaard and Eze?
No, it's not. We tried it once, obviously, against West Ham. It looked good before Ødegaard got injured, but this, much like right back, this isn't a time to experiment.
Lots of shouts for it, though. Lots of shouts. Ian Bruce says, a voice for radio. I'm assuming you're talking about Yembele with the mic suggestion. I'm not sure. Let me know. Okay, let's move into the final three then. Saka on the right-hand side. Again, not the best game against West Ham, but has shown obviously in the Champions League semi-final that he's been absolutely glorious. He's the main man, isn't he? And we were talking about him scoring potentially the goals that might get us over the line. He's got to play on that right-hand side. I can't see anyone playing. Okay, we're nodding in agreement. Leo Trossard, who got us that goal. The media coverage of him and his personal stuff has been scandalous, but he has party company with his wife. Anne Hathaway is waiting in the wings. He's got to start. I mean, I think the last 2 or 3 games, he's looked, I wouldn't say back to his brilliant best, but he's looked much, much better.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then up top, that leaves the main man, Victor Gyökeres. Yeah? No Kai Havertz. You're not doing anything. Arsenal says bench Gyökeres.
Why? No, he'll get time. Havertz will get time, but you start Gyökeres for this game. He's in form. He's playing really well. He understands his role better now. He doesn't try to play
Havertz gives you height, says Manny.
He does, but these are the games where Gyökeres has come alive. Look at his record against the bottom teams.
And against Burnley away. He was fabulous.
This is what we signed a big money striker for when we're struggling to knock down the door against those teams that park 15 players behind the ball. We're gonna need him. So don't change a winning formula. If we weren't going to change it against West Ham, apart from obviously Ben White's injury, I don't see why we'd change it now.
VG Batty incoming. I think you mean Hattie, but yeah. But yeah, it could be Batty. Who knows? Divorced Trossard is better than married Trossard. Come on.
That's so cold.
What are we doing here? And Arsenal says, I want King Kai in this game. Go on.
I did see someone say Trossard can have his pick of the women at the parade. After the goal against West Ham.
Oh, geez.
He can have it.
Indeed, he can have his pick of the women and the men, let's be honest. Right, let's get to match predictions. Yem, let me ask the chat. How do you think this game's going to go? Where do you think it's going to be won or lost?
I think it's going to need to be a fast start from Arsenal to get us an early goal, try and kill the game off early. Because if you kill Burnley spirit, the longer this game goes, Burnley start to grow into the game and get confidence. Kill it off early, get a first goal, early doors, and I think we can win 3-0.
3-0. That's exactly what Logical Nonsense has just gone for. Asger says we're going to win 2-0. Thomas is going all guns blazing. We're going to hit Burnley for 6, he says. 6-0. Vivlad says 2-0. I love the score predictions as well. Gyökeres and Calafiori. Manny says 2-0. Jordan saying 5-0. Jordan, are you at the game? Oh, yes, you are. You paid an absurd amount of money for your ticket. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get the 5 goals, man. You deserve that. Claire saying 3-0. Grumpy Doctor says 6-0. Wow, Arsenal fans are very confident. Wayne, you?
Yeah, confident, but I don't think it will be as big a scoreline. I think I've got 2-0 in my mind as the score for this one.
Okay. Scott Graham says 5-1, but they score first. There's always one.
Oh,
Why are you like this, Scott?
Oh, that would be
my
an
God,
awful.
Could you imagine
2-5. However,
scoring?
no. Just don't. Do you know? Don't let it get to halftime at 0-0 because I'll be sick.
Oh my God. I think to
like I said,
point, yeah,
you've got to start fast.
Feels weird when we all agree with Yem. We need to start fast, score first, score early. 5-0 says Willomo. 2-1 Burnley. Imagine being 1-0 down and winning 2-1 in injury time. I don't think I'll make it out of the stadium.
No, I don't think I'll make it.
That would be it for me. After last Sunday, I think
call the paramedics. Call the paramedics.
Yeah, mate.
What?
Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance.
What I'd give for another Fulham first half.
Yeah.
Oh, just give us that. Just give us that, and just
give us just calm our hearts down and just make it easy on us. Why do this to us?
Listen, we are traumatized, Mike.
Years of talk.
But everyone's saying 4-0, 5-0. I mean, come on, Gyökeres Hattie. I would love that. Love that. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, that's been a lot of fun tonight. Really, really enjoyed tonight's show.
What did you go for?
What am I going for? I went 3-0 Fulham, didn't I? I'm going to go for... Yeah, I think we're going to pump Burnley on Monday. Yeah, man. I think we're going to pump them. And I think we're going to win 3 or 4. Yeah. It's going to be a lovely night at the Emirates. Under the lights. The team bus. Don't know where the action is.
Jimo's song at half time.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Surely the club won't be allowed to play that because of the referee's
come on,
voice.
They got to do it.
The referee, that would get the referee in
of course they won't.
Legendary.
It would have been unbelievable. Will Omer says Gyökeres is going to have a field day. I hope so. The boy deserves it. I deserve it. Yeah, I think we're going to win comfortably. But let's be honest. Burnley, they've actually played pretty decent against some of these big clubs. The Man City performance wasn't as bad as as a team that's getting relegated. But Scott Parker has got Michael Jackson is here.
City should have scored about 4 in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan is in block 100. If anybody is anywhere near block 100, do go and say hello. The guy is an absolute character. Love it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Where can we find the tune? It's on socials, so check it out. You can go to the Latte Firm feed. I retweeted it earlier. If you're a Patreon member, you can, of course, just download it. I've shared the Dropbox file link or whatever it is. A number of you have, and I'm sure you're turning that into your ringtone. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you've all had a good week. Hundreds of you watching live on YouTube right now, which is amazing. Please do drop a like on the video and subscribe before you go. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, really appreciate you listening. Give us a kind review, subscribe, follow on those. And of course, all of our Patreon members and my channel members, thank you so much for your generous support. It goes a very, very long way. What are we going to do this weekend? I'm not sure. The game is on Monday. We might do a preview show on Sunday, just a little bit more deep dive, wrapping up over the weekend. And I'm going to start scheduling shows with the journalists that we all know and love. So the big hitters, the transfer dailies, the daily grinds. We're going to do football content with experts and tacticos and football writers. I can't wait for it. Lots and lots of content to come. And then, of course, on Monday night, that could be an unbelievable night, but there's got to be a match reaction, surely. It'd be late night, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be like midnight by the time we get back.
Yeah, mate. Mate, I don't count on anything too early. people. It's just not going to happen if we win.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Come on.
It's
Tuesday,
not-
here's a question just before we go.
Tuesday.
Night, if
Yes.
Bournemouth do something, what are we
Yes.
doing?
We do everything.
Are we going to the
yes.
Emirates? I mean,
Yes.
do we just
Yes. Yeah. We go.
do we just go to the Emirates and live stream?
Yeah.
F it. Let's do it.
I mean,
it'd be Ozil vibe. Do you remember that night Ozil signed?
Like I think if that happens, I think as soon as that whistle blows, I think there are going to be loads of people that just drive down to the Ems. Weren't there?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think William Saliba will be there as well, going nuts as well.
Yeah,
He's just going to kick a ball into the crowd.
on line bikes.
He can do that. He can do whatever he likes.
No, but I mean, do you remember? I mean, back in '89, if you look at Fever Pitch, as soon as the full-time whistle went at Anfield, everyone was running around Highbury. I mean, I think I'd do it.
Mate,
I think I'd actually go to the Ems and just walk around with a flag around my
that Ozil night, with the night Ozil signed, those vibes there.
Wow. I can't imagine it. JC says I'll be running around screaming. Melissa says do it. Get the fireworks ready for Tuesday night if it happens. Says Wilomo. Tuesday night might be massive. I mean, listen, if you guys are local, if you are in London, I think we should. The Avengers should assemble, and we should talk about this on socials over the next few days.
A phone in from the Emirates on
a Latte
Tuesday night.
Space, live from the Tony Adams statue. Wowzers, you give me ideas. After the match reaction, of course. Listen, thanks so much. It's been a lot of fun. If anybody wants to follow Yembele, he's available at Verge59. If anybody wants to follow Wayne, he's available at Wayne's World 20_. And of course, you can follow me on my socials as well, F Carnage. Just thank you for being here all throughout the season. We're so close. We are so close. Burnley on Monday. Come on, Arsenal. One last dance. Bye for now.